me to continue writing, developing and growing the storyline I had in mind until it gradually took on a shape of its own. 3 weeks later, before Christmas 2010, I completed my novel. By then, Three-Body X had spread to every corner of the Chinese web and received almost as much discussion and attention as Death's End itself. Mr. Yao Haijun, Liu Cixin's good friend, who is nicknamed the Chinese Campbell for his role in developing new writers as the executive editor of Science Fiction World, contacted me to ask if he could publish it as a standalone book. A few months later, as three-body fever continued to sweep Chinese science fiction fandom, more fan fiction appeared. But the brief window of opportunity was gone, and these new works did not receive nearly as much attention as mine. I knew that I was lucky. When I first posted my story online, I wasn't thinking much about copyright. Of course, once a formal offer of publication came from Mr. Yao, I was faced with a complicated set of issues. But Liu Cixin displayed incredible generosity and kindness towards new writers by giving me permission to publish, and I cannot express the full extent of my deep gratitude. As soon as the book came off the presses, I sent a copy to Liu Cixin. A few years later, after I'd published some original stories and become a regular member of the small circle of Chinese science fiction writers, Liu and I became friends and often met at fandom events. He told me that he enjoyed Three-Body X and indeed had even voted for it at Chinese Science Fiction Awards. The book didn't win, but Liu's encouragement and approval were better than winning 10 such awards. The subtitle for the paraquel, The Redemption of Time, and some other names in the novel have special meanings for fans, though few now probably remember the sources of the allusions. Between 2008 and 2010, while fans impatiently waited for the arrival of the last volume of the trilogy, many speculated on potential directions the plot could take and spread various rumours centred around supposed leaks from Liu Cixin's draft in progress. Of course, all of these rumours turned out to be hoaxes, and not a single one matched the published book. But even such rumours brought eager fans some joy in imagining the conclusion of Liu Cixin's masterpiece, and so I reference some key words from those rumours as a memorial to that innocent time when Three-Body was still a relatively obscure playground known to only the most dedicated fans. To be sure, my paraquel did not receive and could not have received the sort of plaudits that accompanied the Three-Body series proper, but it was also true that many readers enjoyed it greatly. I certainly make no claim that Three-Body X constitutes a part of the Three-Body canon, though it was published by the same publisher as the original trilogy and sold together with Liu Cixin's books. I viewed it as a dedicated fan's attempt to explain and fill out some of the gaps in the original trilogy, one of countless possible developments of the Three-Body universe. Any fans of the trilogy proper could reject it as incompatible with their vision, or could enjoy it without treating it as part of the universe. I think these are all perfectly reasonable responses. 4 years after the publication of Three-Body X, China Educational Publications Import and Export Corporation Limited decided to introduce this book to Anglophone readers after the publication of the English edition of the Three-Body trilogy. I feel both anxiety and trepidation at this prospect. There certainly have been some notable works of fan fiction in the history of English science fiction, such as the Second Foundation trilogy by Gregory Benford, Greg Bear and David Brin, as well as Stephen Baxter's epic The Time Ships, a continuation of H.G. Wells's The Time Machine. And I haven't even mentioned shared universes like Doctor Who and Star Trek, which have provided fertile ground for the creativity of many other authors. I don't pretend to claim that my novel is the equal of these successful classics, but there is something that unites all of them. Great works of uncommon genius will call for us to return to